Welcome back, folks. In this video, we'll go over how to create traps for your project. First, let's create the trap. Let's say we want to have a rock that will be sitting right over here, and if our character will walk right under the rock, it will slam down. Let's create a new object. Let's make a sprite. We'll call it rock. We'll create it with Piscal. Let's do 114 by 114. Resize. Let's make the rock. And save it. And let's call this animation idle. Click apply. Let's drag it on our screen. Make sure it's in a base layer. Let's put it right here. Okay. So as I mentioned, when our main character passes under the rock, I want the rock to slam down. To do it, we'll have to create a couple of things. First, let's create some instance variables. If you click on a rock, on the left hand side you'll see instance variables. There are no variables at this moment. Let's create one. We will call it fall. And we will give that variable number of the y coordinates, which is, looking at right hand side right here, 932. So let's call it 932. And let's move this guy back. Okay. So now when we walk under the rock, it will fall down to 932 on the y-axis. Now to do that, we'll have to add a couple of events. Let's go back to our events. Let's add a new event. Select the lane and add event group. We'll call it traps. Let's drag this back. So let's add a condition. So we want the rock. We want the rock to raycast. Actually, let's do main character. So there will be a ray cast from the rock into the main character to check if the main character is under the rock. So the ray source will be rock, period, center, X. So we're casting a ray down from the rock's center. Let's Control C, Control V, copy and paste, replace X with Y. Ray angles, it will be 90 degrees, right? Because we're going all the way down, so it will be 90 degrees. Ray distance, let's set it to 500 pixels. And let's click OK. So now we will cast a ray from the center of the rock at angle of 90 degrees, so straight down, and maximum distance of 500 pixels. And if we see a main character, an action will take place. Do not worry about these last items. We do not need it in our situation. So let's create an event, a sub-event. We say, first of all, trigger once. And then let's add another condition. If the animation by name, if the animation of our rock is equal to idle, we'll click OK. So if the animation of rock is idle and we want to trigger it only once, we want to tween, or we want to move that rock down. To do it, we have to add a behavior. Let's go back to our rock, double click on it, go to behaviors, add a behavior, and we type tween. Select it. There are no settings. Click apply. And go back to our level 1 events. Add action. Rock. Tween. So we want to do is we want to change the object Y position, so up and down position, to bring it down to our finish point. So select tween object Y position. Tween identifier, we'll just call it fall, to Y. So here you can either type a number. So let's click here, OK. Let's go back. So you can either type a number. In our situation it was 932, or you can type this variable right here. In our situation, our variable is called fall. So right here we can either type 932, or we can type rock period variable open brackets fall close brackets. With easing many different ones, you can do is in quart over, let's say, 2 seconds. So now our rock will cast a ray from its center at 90 degrees, which means straight down, against our players. And if it sees the player and the rock's animation is idle, it will move that rock from its starting position down to its fall position. So let's go back to our level and let's preview it. As you can see here, the rock fell, but it fell pretty slowly. So let's go back and change it. Let's go back, let's say over 1 second, or we can make it even faster, 0.75 seconds. Go back to level 1, preview. Here we go, just like that. Now the next step is to clean this up a little bit. Let's say after it falls into the position, we wanted to delete it. There are a few different ways of doing it. You can say if the rock is in collision with the ground, delete it. Or a simple way, you can just say wait a certain amount of seconds, let's say 1, and then delete the rock. So now, if we walk under the rock, it will fall, and then it will be deleted. And just like that, you created your first trap. Now you can add more conditions here. For example, if the rock is in collision with player, damage player. Let's do that. Let's create a new event. Let's drag it under traps, and we say rock is in collision with main character. Press OK. What we want to do is we want to do the same thing as if we were in collision with our enemy. We want to change the position, we want to change the variable, and we want to show the variable health in our health points text. So you can either type it out or you can just copy and paste. So let's copy, press shift and select everything, Control C. It didn't do it. Select everything, Control C, Control V, and then just move the items one by one. Okay, and we want to trigger this all at once. Let's preview. Here we go. We got hit by a rock, we lost a life, and we were moved back. And that is all for this video, folks. See you in the next one.